we're going?
Mm-hmm.
Hello, people. I'm doing something a little different this time because how this started was a long while ago. A movie came out based around my favorite team, the Justice Society, and I said like, hey friends, we're gonna give this presentation and then we're gonna watch it, and it was ridiculous, and only one clip of it survived. But I loved the manic energy of it and the live performance, so we are recording that here for you so the rest of the world can see it. I'm joined by my friend Brian, who will ask ridiculous questions and I will go insane trying to explain them. So we're starting off with the Bat Family.
Woo!
Who are they?
Woo!
Justifying who is or isn't a Bat Family member is kind of loose. There's no real hard line for who is and who isn't, so I'm kind of using my own rules here. First, let's talk about who isn't part of the Bat Family. Batman formed a team called Batman and the Outsiders. I am not counting any members of the Outsiders because they're kind of their own thing, and they usually do a lot of stuff without Batman. I'm not counting superheroes that have a very close relationship with Batman, like Zatanna or Etrigan the Demon or the Creeper, because they're their own thing. They're off doing their own stuff. And I am not counting the Justice League, so Superman and Wonder Woman, not Bat Family. Like, they're good friends with Batman, but they're not Bat Family. Moving on. Before we go forward, I have to have two honorable mentions, but I can't mention them because they are not part of the main continuity. Carrie Kelly from The Dark Knight Returns, who is the first time we ever saw a girl Robin, and she was really cool. She would use a slingshot and fight bad guys with a very grumpy Frank Miller version of Batman. And I couldn't live with myself if I didn't have a tip of the hat to Terry McGinnis from Batman Beyond, who is exactly what he sounds like, the next Batman. Old Bruce is sad and tired and he can't be Batman. This new guy finds him and is a new Batman. And he still has family. His mom and brother are still alive. So I could go chronologically, but I decided to do something a little different. We have 4 categories. Non-superheroes, Robins, Bat Ladies, and the rest. So let's dive in with Alfred Pennyworth. Everybody knows Alfred. He originally was a very fat, rotund version with a Sherlock Holmes hat, but due to the popularity of the Batman serial, he became a very thin man with a little mustache and horseshoe bald. Was a medic in the British Army. He was a stage actor and taught Batman the art of acting, because that is definitely something Batman's going to need in his crime-fighting world, and is the adopted father of Bruce Wayne.
What was Alfred's relationship to Batman's dad?
Just
they've done that.
Butler.
He's just a butler?
Just a butler. He's just a family butler.
They weren't like besties or anything?
Yeah, they were besties, but like they were still his butler. He was nice to his butler, but that's about it.
What a great guy.
What a great guy. I didn't mention this in here, but Alfred is the only Bat Family member that Bruce is like okay having guns. He protects the Batcave with an elephant gun. So if somebody busts into the Batcave, what the fuck are you doing in here?
So if an elephant tries to attack the Batcave, we're set.
Yeah, it's huge. It's got a giant
nice
thing at the end.
Is there a bad elephant?
There isn't a bat elephant.
Yet?
Yet. Yeah, I forgot to mention we're doing questions after I complete the slide.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I was talking to the camera people.
Oh, okay.
Not you. You know. Commissioner Jim Gordon. Everybody knows Gordon. He's a pretty simple character. Used to be a U.S. Marine. He's divorced. He most likely knows who Batman really is, but he just probably doesn't say anything. He wore the bat suit for a brief time, briefly during one of Batman's absences. There's a lot of those. Always willing to work with Batman despite what other people think. So everyone's like, you're employing vigilantes, having a bat symbol on the roof. And he's just like, well, he gets shit done. So who cares?
So you're considering Commissioner Gordon a member of the Bat Family just because of his closeness to Batman?
Yes, like I do not count the rest of the GCPD.
Okay.
No Renee Montoya, no Harvey Bullock.
So it's about the closeness.
Yes.
Okay.
Like they're friends and confidants.
Okay.
Lucius Fox, Batman's tech guy, CEO and president of Wayne Enterprises. Batman originally formed the Outsiders to save Lucius from a supervillain. Does all of the stuff Bruce can't do because he's off being Batman. And he's married to a lady by the name of Tanya Fox.
So when did he come into the comics?
I'm not entirely sure. I believe the early 80s.
Okay, so he was around for a while, because I'd only heard of him from the movie.
Yeah, and
So.
he's Morgan Freeman. Question, yes.
They got the bow tie in the movie.
Yeah, this is basically exactly what Morgan Freeman wears,
Whee!
minus the glasses. Dr. Leslie Tompkins was a close personal friend and colleague of Thomas Wayne, parental figure of Bruce Wayne after the loss of his parents. Disapproves of Batman's vigilantism, so she's basically like, Bruce, I think you'd be a lot healthier if you like didn't do this and like dealt with your issues instead of punching people. Is the Bat Family doctor. Has had a romantic relationship with Alfred in the past.
Whoa!
Yes.
Stop clapping, please.
Sorry, it's just
I know.
satisfying to do.
I get it. Excitement is exciting.
Brian, you had a question?
I just didn't know Alfred was getting busy.
Oh, Alfred. Alfred gets down.
Does Alfred have any kids?
He does. I don't remember her name.
He didn't go bald from worry. It was all the testosterone.
Yay!
Yay!
Good job, Alfred.
Harold Almont. Good old Harold. Is a mute hunchback as Batman's mechanic. So if you ever wondered who was changing the oil and fixing the tires on the Batmobile, Harold. As a former henchman of the Penguin, Batman saved Harold from his unfortunate situation and gave him a home, so he lived in the Batcave for a while. Watches soap operas with Alfred.
Everything ties to Alfred.
Alfred's nice. He was killed by Hush, which is probably why you haven't heard of him. And he did return in New 52 because everybody comes back.
Have they ever done a sitcom where Alfred is banging random people while Harold is just hanging out watching cartoons with Alfred?
And then Don Knotts walks in.
And then
Hold
Don
it
Knotts
there,
walks
you
in.
perverts. Yes.
Is Alfred like Batman's rep? Like the more palatable version of like good cop, bad cop kind of thing?
I wouldn't say that. He's just kind of off doing his own thing.
Okay.
All right. Any other questions about Harold?
I don't know what the New 52 is.
Okay. At a certain point, this is DC has only redone their continuity twice. First with Crisis on Infinite Earths, and then with New 52, where they just say, "Hey, you know all this years of continuity and rich story. Let's throw it in the trash and try and make it more palatable to new readers."
When was New 52? When was that?
I was in high school at the time, so 2013, 2014, something around that time.
Okay.
Since Rebirth, they people have said like that's stupid. So like all the stuff we liked happened, including Harold.
We love Harold. Harold's my new favorite.
Harold's great. Dick Grayson / Robin number 1 / Nightwing. He grew up in the circus, so a lot of his fighting skills is very acrobatic. Was taken in by Bruce Wayne after his parents died. Took the name of Robin because he's a big fan of Robin Hood. He used to watch Earl Flynn Robin Hoods with his father. Founding member of the Teen Titans, so very important on that end. Took the name Nightwing from a story Superman told him. Is one of the most over-sexualized male characters in all of comics, as you can tell from there.
Why?
I don't know.
Why Robin? Because isn't he the boy wonder?
Well,
that's kind of creepy.
Here he's like only as Nightwing.
Okay.
This is a very recent thing, but here he's like in his 30s.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
He's doing like what would be considered like a traditionally female.
Yeah, they draw him the way they draw most women in comics.
I'm kind of behind that.
I'm
though.
behind it too.
And he's got a lot to show off.
Any other questions? Do you want me to dive into the story of from Superman?
What?
Okay. So, there was a point where the writers of Batman... Okay, Robin was on Teen Titans, and the writers of Batman were like, we want Robin back! And they were like, no! And then eventually they came up with a compromise. Okay, Dick Grayson will become a new character, and then you're free to make your own Robin. And they're like, okay. So where does the name Nightwing comes from? There was a Silver Age story where Superman and Jimmy Olsen traveled to the bottled city of Kandor and became Batman and Robin style heroes called Nightwing and Flamebird. And then when Nightwing is just like, Dick Grayson is like, I don't know what to do, I need to find a new serial. He's like, well, let me spin you a yarn about the characters Nightwing and Flamebird. So he has some Superman influence.
Ah.
Obviously, that's a very silly story, so in modern days, Nightwing and Flamebird were legends on Krypton. They were the superheroes on Krypton.
Ah. Was there a supervillain involved in Robin's parents being killed?
I believe his name was Tony Zuko.
What did he do? Because didn't they die on a
They were
trapeze
shaking
or
down the
something?
circus for protection money.
Ah.
He's like, give us money. No. Well, they're dead now.
It was Zuko in the animated series.
I believe it's Tony Zuko in the comics, too.
Okay.
So he sabotaged.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, no. Jason Todd / Robin number 2 / Red Hood. Found by Batman when he was trying to steal the hubcaps off the Batmobile.
Batmobile has hubcaps?
It's got wheels. It's got hubcaps.
Okay, cool.
Was murdered by the Joker and was dead for many years. There was a long time where this guy was dead. Came back to life after Superboy Prime punched reality.
Okay, you're gonna have to expand on that. What?
Reality is crystal, and when you punch it, that creates cracks in reality, and then that made Jason Todd come back to life.
Is he appropriately dubbed number 2?
Yes, he's Robin number 2.
Wait, when he came back to life, like was the body that was dead for
he,
years?
He crawled out of his grave like a fucking zombie, but he was like fine.
How?
Superboy Prime punched reality.
Oh, okay.
It changed reality.
Okay.
Yes. In DC, reality is crystal and time is rainbows. Was taken in by the League of Assassins. Took the name Red Hood from an old identity of the Joker. The Joker was the first Red Hood.
Why would he take the Joker's identity?
Because he's making it his own, I guess. I don't know, because he's an edgelord.
Okay.
There's no real reason.
Okay.
But the League of Assassins thing, after he came back, he was kind of not right. Kind of walking around, and then eventually Talia al Ghul found him and was like, we're just going to take you. And then they kind of threw him in the Lazarus pit, and that kind of made him more himself, but he's still kind of crazy.
Yeah. But it was like Pet Cemetery rules.
Kind
He came back, but he's
kind of
not
like
quite,
Pet
yeah.
Cemetery.
Okay.
But now he's just an asshole.
Okay. He looks like it.
Yes.
Who spells things bad, because Pet Cemetery.
Pet.
Tim Drake, Robin number 3
Jesus.
/ Red Robin.
Young.
So does Batman ever just have a moment where he's like, maybe I should stop having Robins because I go through them like crazy.
We're gonna get into that.
Maybe
Okay.
stop laying eggs.
He figured out Batman and Nightwing's secret identity. So he's the detective Robin. He saw Nightwing flipping around doing his thing and went, wait a minute, that's exactly like the sky patterns of the Flying Graysons. And Dick Grayson was adopted by Bruce Wayne, which means he was Robin and Bruce Wayne is Batman. He's a founding member of Young Justice. He's best friends with Superboy. Dad was still alive until he wasn't.
What?
Something I really liked about Tim Drake was that we always associate the Bat family members with tragedy, just like Batman. My parents are dead. He had an alive dad, so he was different. So he was lying to his dad about being Robin. Then eventually they were just like, let's kill his dad because, I don't know.
Did they kill his dad, or did his dad just become dead one
No, in a very stupid story called Identity Crisis, which has, I won't get into that because it sucks. People's loved ones are being targeted, and through a ridiculously circuitous plan, our bad guy puts Captain Boomerang in the same house as Jack Drake, and Jack Drake has a gun, and Jack Drake shoots Captain Boomerang just as Captain Boomerang throws a razor boomerang, leaving both of their sons fatherless so that the second Captain Boomerang can be a bad guy to him.
Wait, so his dad was a superhero?
His dad was a guy. His dad's name was Jack Drake. His dad was not a superhero. But in Identity Crisis, people were targeting the loved ones of superheroes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was the detective Robin. was the first Robin to use the bow staff. We always associated Robin with the flippity-do bow staff. That was him.
So did he basically just go, hey, I know who you are, Bruce Wayne. I'm going to be your Robin now?
Kind of. He was just like...
Did he blackmail his way
into
being a sidekick?
He noticed Batman was being like darker and grittier. He was just like, dude, you're clearly spiraling. You need somebody, and I'm going to be that somebody.
Maybe I can change him.
Yes. He tried desperately to reclone Superboy after his death. Don't worry, he got better.
Wait, did Superboy die by punching reality?
No, this is a different Superboy. This is clone Superboy.
Okay, then...
Clone Superboy got punched by Superboy Prime like really hard.
Wait, so Superboy Prime, was that a different punch than the reality punch?
No, it was a different punch.
Okay, so Superboy is just in the habit of punching things really hard.
Yeah, he punches a character's head off at one point. Enough about Superboy Prime. We ain't talking about him. Any other questions about Tim Drake?
I mean, I don't like him.
Why?
Just look at his face.
Well, this was kind of the Robin outfit, like in Batman the Animated
Series. Yeah, but
series.
he's so smarmy. He looks smarmy.
I wouldn't describe him as smarmy.
Okay.
Moving on. Stephanie Brown / spoiler / Robin 4 Robin 4 / Batgirl 4. I begrudgingly kind of put her in here. I could have put her in the Batgirl category because she's more well known as Batgirl, but her time as Robin seems to be just ignored, and anytime you see an image of all the Robins, it's just the main four of just the boys. So I'm putting her here to acknowledge that. She began her superhero career as the Spoiler to stop her supervillain father, the Clue Master. So she really didn't like the fact that her dad was a supervillain, so she would show up and spoil his wrongdoings. She did Tim Drake briefly, and dated Tim Drake and briefly took over as Robin, while Tim was temporarily could not wear the suit. It was actually like kind of before Jack Drake died, where he didn't feel good about lying to his dad, and it was a whole thing.
So then she just was like, well, I'll take it, and took the suit out of his closet and started being Robin.
Yes.
Cool. How did Bruce Wayne feel about this?
He was okay with it.
He's just fine. He's just like, yeah, you can be my Robin. You're expendable. Go for it. It's great.
Became Batgirl under the teaching of Barbara Gordon, and she loves waffles.
Oh, good.
Her boobs look fakest as Robin.
Yeah.
Okay.
I agree. So how is Clue Master different from the Riddler? Because it sounds like the same villain with a
he wears orange. I don't really know much about the Clue Master. He's got these weird little capsule things on his body, and it's more like, they're not riddles, they're clues. Like, maybe I'm over here. I don't know.
So they don't rhyme.
That's
what it comes down
to. Damian Wayne, Robin number 5.
He's like 6.
Your favorite.
He's the youngest Robin, yes. Son of Talia al Ghul and Bruce Wayne.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so this character isn't that old.
So we can prove that Bruce Wayne is an awful father.
I'm getting there.
Okay.
Technically, this character isn't that old. But if you want to put at it, when they did this story, they were trying to run back to this other story called Night of the Demon. It technically first appeared in Son of the Demon from 1987, where Bruce and Talia bang, and at the end of it, it's like, oh no, there's a baby! And then they just never followed up on it. But Jeff Johns, or I don't know if it was Jeff Johns, it was somebody else, but he was just like, aha, we shall let's pick up where that left off. Kind of sort of appeared in Kingdom Come. There was a version of him that appeared in Kingdom Come, which is an alternate universe, but it's influential. I prefer that version of Damian Wayne. Was kept a secret from Batman for years, so Talia had him. Batman didn't know this kid existed.
But you said that they said there's a baby in that first.
Like, he fucked her and then left.
Okay.
He created the beast with 2 bats.
Classic
The
Batman.
beast with 2 bats.
Beast with 2 bats is better. That's much better workshopping.
It was kept a secret from Batman. It was raised by the League of Assassins, so he's just this pissed off ninja kid.
Oh, I'm so glad. I thought you were going to say that he pissed off a character named Ninja Kid.
No.
And that would have been, I wanted to know everything about Ninja Kid.
I could not find a single image of this kid where he didn't look pissed off. There exist no pictures of him where he's smiling.
Okay, so explain to me how Batman's like, okay, my 5-year-old son is now going to come with me to fight crime and risk his life.
Well, okay, it's a little crazy. So Talia al Ghul and the rest of the League of Assassins were doing this thing where they were going to attack Batman, and behold, my secret weapon, your son. And he's like, oh no. So then after that story got resolved, he's like, I'm sorry I wasn't there for you. I'm going to be for you here. And then he died. Not
Batman
him.
died?
Batman died. Don't worry, he got better. He wasn't actually dead. He was shot with like a special bullet that made him travel through time. But everybody else thought he was dead.
So it was a rainbow bullet.
Yes. Well, no, it wasn't a rainbow bullet. It was the Omega Sanction. It was laser beams that came out of Darkseid's eyes.
Still light. So
Yes.
rainbow light.
Yes.
It all makes sense.
But everyone thought like, oh no, Batman's dead. So then Dick Grayson became Batman, and this became his Robin, which is an homage to an older story from like the 30s.
Okay. So Batman wasn't putting his son in danger.
Yeah.
Dick Grayson was.
Yeah, and then Batman came into the modern day and they're like, give me my fucking outfit back.
Yeah.
And he's been basically that Robin ever since. I don't like him.
I like his boots. His boots look more functional than any Robin before or
Yeah.
since.
This is actually one of the first Robins that has a hood.
Yeah. The cape is useless, though.
Yeah. Moving on.
I do like the Ninja Turtle blades, though.
You know-
Swords.
Without looking anything up, the earliest human I know who has written about the uselessness of those kinds of capes is a fellow by the name of Walter Scott, who wrote Ivanhoe, who said that it was the fashion to have useless capes that were just that. So.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. And then moving on to Batwoman / Kathy Kane / Kate Kane. This is one of those characters. This is why I decided to not do this in chronological order. I decided to go about this. This is the same character that got a big overhaul. So pre-crisis, this one,
She looks like she's gonna bake me cookies.
kinda,
She looks like someone's mom.
was a wealthy
She
heiress.
has a little rockabilly look, yeah.
She was a wealthy heiress and a former circus performer. She had was a romantic partner for Batman. Okay, so the reason this character exists is everyone back then was just like, Batman and Robin are in a homosexual relationship and they're going to make our kids do drugs, blah, 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 blah. And so the writers were like, shit, we gotta convince everybody they're not gay. So they invented Batwoman and Batgirl, who are these sexy ladies that Batman and Robin totally want to fuck because they are heteros.
I
And
just love that the problem was the gay, not the statutory rape. Like,
Wait, where did the rape come from?
because
Oh,
Robin's
his
a
age.
child.
Well,
Like, everyone's, like, upset because they might be... gay, but-
try to tell Joe McCarthy that.
Okay, I'm sorry.
It's fine.
Oh, so the commies made us be heterosexuals. That makes
It's
perfect sense.
actually from a book called Seduction of the Innocent. It might be worth your time. It's a guy going like, comic books are evil because bleh.
Bleh.
Because gay, not
Because
because,
gay.
statutory rape.
We just had this discussion over Sodom and Gomorrah.
We did.
Excellent.
Briefly became Catwoman for a short time. And then she went away after Crisis on Infinite Earths because she's too silly. And then years go by,
As
and
opposed
they
to the
introduce
Batman
this new version of Batwoman, who is Kate Kane, and is Batman's Jewish lesbian cousin.
She looks badass.
She's awesome.
That is not a great description, though.
Is she
Well,
Cat?
that's what?
Is she Kathy Courtney Kane? Because that could work out real bad.
No, I don't believe so.
Okay.
She was romantically involved with Renee Montoya, the Question. If you watch Batman the Animated Series, the Hispanic cop lady.
Another version of the Riddler / the Clue Maker.
The Question's a good guy and doesn't do anything. They have no face. That's their. Actually likes being a rich socialite. So all the stuff that Bruce Wayne hates, she actually enjoys doing. So she obviously has money, but she was inspired by her cousin to become this, and she's just a different kind of bad person.
Okay.
So I love that they went from oh, it's we got to prove Batman and Robin aren't gay to very out and proud lesbian.
That's amazing. Actually, I think that tells us more about Batman and Robin.
And her sidekick, Bet Kane / Batgirl / Flamebird. Pre-Crisis, she was Batwoman's niece and sidekick, and she joined the Teen Titans West. And, just very simple. I probably should have flipped these. This is how she originally looked, very boring costume. Then post-Crisis, she was a tennis prodigy, and was a Nightwing superfan. So she was super into Nightwing, and it's like, I'm going to become Flamebird, and I'm going to be his sidekick, and it's going to be awesome. And he was like, no. And instead of being the niece, we still want her to have some connection to Batwoman, so she is now Batwoman's cousin.
Okay.
And they still have some close relationship in the modern day. Any questions?
No.
Okay. No.
She has pouts she could teach to professional Damien impersonators.
She is so happy to be high kicking the Scarecrow there.
Well,
Look how happy she
The
is.
Scarecrow's an asshole.
Yeah, she's like, wee! Sorry.
All right. Barbara Gordon / Batgirl 2 / Oracle. She was created for the Batman 66 TV series. She technically appeared in comics first, but they were just like, we want a Batgirl. And they're like, okay.
The bat boots are cool. I never noticed those before, but they
I really like this version. Oh yeah, because they have the little
Yep.
doos. Was the first Batgirl to be the sidekick of Batman. So she's not the first Batgirl, but this is the things we associate with Batgirl first appear with this one. After becoming paralyzed from the waist down, she used her technical skills to become Oracle, so she's the guy in the chair for every superhero. Mostly Batman, but like other people go to her too.
Nice.
And I've talked to this with my friend many times. A lot of cool stories happen with Oracle, but what happened to Barbara Gordon in The Killing Joke was terrible, and it was women in refrigerators because they paralyzed a woman to make two men feel bad, Batman and Commissioner Gordon. So, looking back, that wasn't okay. Was a founding, she is the founding member of the Birds of Prey.
She is?
Yeah, it was her idea to make the Birds of Prey. Regained the use of her legs and became Batgirl once again.
How?
She got better. That's they don't explain it. It's like, she got better.
Not
She
even
was paralyzed and went through physical therapy and stuff and then got better.
not even a montage.
Not even a montage. They went out of their way to say The Killing Joke still happened because we need to sell that. It's on shelves at Barnes & Noble. Any other questions about Batgirl?
No, so they were like, the Killing Joke still happened. It's just that the results of that and the outcome just mean nothing because she gets better. Okay, cool.
Cassandra Cain / Batgirl number 3 / Kazumi / Black Bat / Orphan.
Jesus.
She's the daughter of the assassins David Kane and Lady Shiva. Her parents did not speak to her or give her any affection, only teaching her to kill, thus making her mute and illiterate. So she kind of learned how to communicate through the language of violence. First put on the Batgirl. First Batgirl to get her own. Yeah, she was the first Batgirl to have her own comic series, like her own books outside of the Bat family stuff. Had her first kiss with Superboy.
Did he punch her?
No, this is clone Superboy.
Okay.
Became the leader of the League of Assassins briefly. Briefly became part of Deathstroke's evil titans through mind manipulation drugs before being saved by Tim Drake Robin.
Huh.
Yeah, Cassandra Cain's really cool.
Did she have like an arc of I was a killer mute illiterate person and now I'm learning how to
how to read and communicate and stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
She worked really closely with Oracle at that time. I highly suggest go seeking out her stuff because it's really sad and interesting.
Is the assault worth mentioning?
Which assault?
She was the one that.
No, this is somebody else.
Oh, excuse me.
And I chose not to talk about that assault because this is kind of goofy, and I can't find a way to make that funny, nor should I.
Okay.
Yeah, this is Huntress. Helena Wayne / Helena Bertinelli / the Huntress. This is one of those characters that, again, I decided to not talk about in chronological order, just talk about both versions here. So, pre-Crisis, she was the Earth 2 daughter of Batman and Selina Kyle. And she was best friends with Supergirl. I talked about her in the Justice Society video. I know you people don't, but Brian here remembers. She went to Harvard and Yale. She did that version's Robin. So
she also stands in the exact same pose that I stand when I'm casually standing around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was kind of like the Batgirl equivalent for Earth 2 for a while. Now, post-Crisis, they're like, we want to bring back the idea of the Huntress, but Batman can't have kids because that makes him old. Until they gave him a kid. She was raised in a rich mafia family, and she watched her parents gunned down in front of her.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah, giving her some kind of connection to Batman. Batman didn't really trust her at first. She took up the Batgirl identity for a hot second during the No Man's Land story, I believe. And that costume ended up being given to Cassandra Cain, and then she put the mouth thing on it.
Can you do the mouth thing again?
Mouth thing.
Mouth thing. Yeah, go.
Any questions about Huntress?
Why is she wearing a cross?
She's Catholic.
Well, that's cool, I guess.
And her whole thing is crossbows, which I think is pretty
crossbow. I got it. Cool.
neat. Any other questions?
No.
We're moving right along. Selina Kyle.
I know her!
I really considered not putting her on the list, but the more I thought about it, the more I had to have Catwoman on here.
Why?
She's just so important, and she always comes back to Batman. She's invited into the Batcave, and every writer, even if they want to undo something, Catwoman always comes back. First appeared as the Cat, and she wore like a big, floofy, like cat head, and then like a dress and a cape.
That's amazing.
She started off as a jewel thief. She might be the daughter of crime boss Carmine Falcone.
Really?
Yes.
Do they like hint at it?
She was an orphan, and it's implied that she's one of his oopsie daisies, his bastard children.
Okay.
Criminal started at a young age. She received boxing lessons from Wildcat, but so did Batman, so they have this cool little past. Always comes back to Batman, but it seems her and Bruce can never, are never allowed, type that wrong, are never allowed to be happy.
Aww.
They were married in Earth 2, thus being the parents of Huntress. In a not that far away story, they tried to have them get married, but then like she leaves them at the altar because they can never be happy. That's the sad thing about a lot of these characters, is we need that drama to keep going. Any questions about Catwoman?
Aren't there like a bunch of different... Was it... Because Catwoman always Selina Kyle?
There's only one Catwoman.
Oh, that's nice. That's rare.
It is rare. Because she's popular enough. Oh, and we're going into and the rest category. Jean-Paul Valley.
He is Azrael.
He's Azrael. Is a test tube baby from the DNA of the original John Paul.
Who's John Paul?
He's a pope.
We think he's a pope.
Seriously?
Yeah.
He's a pope clone?
But also some animal DNA mixed in there?
What kind of animal?
They didn't say.
Like a pope bear?
I would
A
love
pope
some.
squirrel? I would love a pope squirrel.
He filled in for Batman when Bane broke his back in the famous Nightfall story. This asshole became Batman, and he wore this ridiculous costume with blades and flamethrowers. He was also an asshole and kicked everybody out of the Batcave, including Harold.
No!
Yeah!
You can't kick Harold out of the Batcave. Who changed the oil?
Yeah?
A donkey. A donkey is an animal. It was clearly donkey DNA.
Yes.
Because a donkey is an ass, don't you know?
Azrael.
That's the perfect name for this guy.
Gotcha.
Part of a secret Catholic extremist group called the Order of Saint Dumas. But it's spelled dumbass, so I prefer to say Saint Dumbass. He has a dumb fire sword. He's fucking crazy.
Why is it dumb?
Because it's that 90s, look at how cool I am. I got spikes and I got a sword, but
That
it's
is
also on
cool.
fire. Yeah, but he's stupid, so it makes it stupid.
I like him.
Fine, you can go read Azrael. Go to the 90s. Everyone loved Azrael. I don't like him. Any other questions about Azrael?
So this Pope thing,
Yeah.
where'd that go? Like,
Didn't really go far. That's just who he is. He has never been the Pope. He just has old Pope DNA in him.
okay. John Paul, which John Paul?
That doesn't really matter.
Okay.
None of them were like fire ninjas, so
How do you know?
according to the world of DC, they were not fire ninjas.
Okay.
Any other questions about John Paul Valley?
I don't even know how he fits in with Batman. Like, he
He
seems like a
kinda-
totally standalone character.
He
that
kind
was
of
in-
just like stole the bat suit in a way. Well, Batman needed somebody to be Batman, and he had worked with this guy, and he was just like, okay, you get to be Batman. Slightly before this, Dick Grayson got to be Batman the first time, and filled in, and then eventually this guy was 90s
So,
edgelord Batman.
so is he just included on the Batman family because he was Batman?
Because he was Batman.
Okay.
That's basically why he's here.
Oh, okay.
But they like to bring him back in the modern day. Like, they'll have him hanging out with everybody.
Cool. No, not really.
Duke Thomas, the Signal,
Cool.
was part of the We Are Robin movement when hundreds of Gotham teens donned Robin R's to fight for their city. Was clearly supposed to be another Robin, but there are already too many Robins. I just know that whoever wrote the story would be like, oh, we're going to make him Robin. And the editors went, there's too many Robins!
Yeah. 4, right?
5 if you count Stephanie Brown.
Well, I do because I'm not awful.
Bruce agreed to teach him, but Duke doesn't want to be another Robin. Bruce gave him his own secret base as a graduating his training. He rides around on the signal cycle.
This guy seems ridiculous.
But it's like the signal.
He's like, I don't want to be Robin. Okay, will you do everything Robin does and be Robin, but we'll give you a different name. You get your own base and a weird suit.
But the idea is clearly that they're turning the bat signal into a person, which is why he's yellow, right?
Yeah.
Like-
Are his weapons drumsticks?
They're like the things Nightwing uses, batons. They're called.
They look really thin.
They're
and
sticks.
small.
They're bonking sticks.
Bonkin sticks.
Any questions about Duke Thomas?
Why does his bat signal on his chest look really weird?
I don't know. Just because that's the way the artist chose to draw it.
Why is it the signal? What does the signal mean?
I don't know. But
He's the signal, but he has a bat on all of his.
Yeah, because he's like the bat signal,
That doesn't make any sense.
like the thing that's on the Gotham City Police Department. He's that, but a person, I guess.
That doesn't make any sense.
No, it doesn't. Moving on.
Okay, I don't like him.
I don't know. I think he's all right.
He's no Azrael.
Harper Row Bluebird. I actually didn't really know much about her, but I've grown to really like her. She escaped from an abusive home.
Who didn't in this world?
She's an electrical engineer. She's the legal guardian of her brother. So she grew up with a shitty dad and was able to escape that life by growing up and getting put through her own life and her brother. Inspired by Batman and becomes a hero to defend her and her brother. Is self-trained, big into gadgets. As soon as I looked at that hair, I looked it up. Bisexual. Works as a medical volunteer with the Leslie Tompkins. Check her out.
Cool.
I don't know why it's just Nightwing's costume, but a girl. But
She wears it better.
yeah. And I don't know if these are actual guns, but I think they're like big concussive laser guns. Any questions about Bluebird?
Why did you include her as a Bat family member?
Because she works with the Bat family. Like
She
gets
does?
she gets to be in the Bat Cave.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. She like does her only thing, but like Batman's just like, okay, this one you can help me because there's 100 supervillains in Gotham. Like having another person punching people helps.
Yeah, she's like, I kicked my mechanic out of the Bat Cave. Now I need you to help change the oil.
All right. Any questions about Bluebird?
What kind of medical volunteer?
I think like either like an orderly or just like helping people check in and like just very basic stuff.
Okay.
Batmite. He's an imp from the 5th dimension. He is of the same race as Mr. Mitsia Spitlick.
Who's Mr. Mrs. Spitlick?
I've told you. Okay, Mr. Mitsia Spitlick is a 5th dimensional imp who is much like Puck, is this crazy character who pops up and like, oh, hello, dum-dum, now it's going to rain eyeballs. And the only way to get rid of him is to trick him into saying his name backwards, which is Kill Tipsy Sim.
Why would he ever say Kill Tipsy Sim?
It's like one of those things like, it's the only way to get rid of me. Like, I can't say your name backwards, I can't even say it forwards. It's Kill Tipsy Sim. Fuck! Yeah, trick him. So this is basically Batman's Mr. Mitsia Spitlick, but he's like nicer. He's Batman's #1 fan. So naturally he's gonna wear his little homemade Batman costume with a floopy ear.
Oh.
Was implied to be a hallucination, but he's not. They did a story where, in the more modern day, where they're trying to retcon all those silly stories. There was a time where Batman took drugs and he imagined this, but no, Batmite is real.
Okay.
Can warp reality to his whim. So he'll what if this Bat guy had superpowers? Like, what if Batman had a mustache like that?
Okay. So he's like Q.
Yes, very similar to Q.
Okay.
He's immortal, and he's magic. There's another thing I was gonna say about him, but yeah, he I forgot to mention. There's only one of him. So you know how with the multiverse, like here's the Batman from the Cowboy universe, here's the Batman from the... There's only one Mr. Mitsia Spitlick and one Batmite. So he can pop into any of the multiverse.
Okay.
Any questions about our good old friend Batmite?
Does he have his own comic?
I don't believe he does.
That would be amazing.
But also, he's Paul Rubens. Because if there's only one Batmite for the multiverse, he was played by Paul Rubens in Batman Brave and the Bold. And Mr. Mitsia Spitlick is Gilbert Gottfried.
Okay.
Moving on.
Cool.
Ace the Bat Hound. He's Batman's dog. He's a German Shepherd. He goes away from time to time, but writers always bring him back because we all love him. Ace the Bat Hound's great. He's a very good boy. He's a member of the Legion of Super Pets. Was a major character in Batman Beyond, which I find interesting because he's a very silly concept in a very serious show. There had actually been a few Bat Hounds. One of them was named Titus because, dogs don't live that long. So...
In the picture, he's wearing a mask.
Yeah.
Did he actually go, was he hiding his secret identity?
Yes, his secret identity is Bruce Wayne's dog.
Okay. Look, our new Bat Hound recognizes the bat signal. There he goes, ready for action.
There's really nothing to it. Just
He's not even looking at the bat signal.
Bark, bark, bark. He's looking at something else. Any other questions about Ace the Bat Hound?
No.
And finally, Bat Cow.
Yay! Wait, what?
It was rescued from a slaughterhouse by Batman and Robin. Was part of a crazy scheme by Professor Pig to put mind control drugs in hamburgers.
Who's Professor Pig?
He's a guy who dresses like a pig and is a weird asshole. Robin named her, and she lives in a barn on Wayne Manor.
Wait. They just rescued one cow?
They didn't just bust into a random slaughterhouse. They were they were following the trail of Professor Pig and was like, oh, we need to take this cow back with us. And then they're doing experiments and they're like, yes, this has this weird drug inside her that Professor Pig has done. And then Robin's like, can we keep her? And Robin's like, fine.
Does she actually go out and fight crime?
No, she's not like Ace the Bat Hound. She's just, they have a cow on Wayne Manor now.
She looks very confused about that.
She's a cow. And then she's a bat cow because her little face thing here kind of looks like a bat symbol.
That's fucking amazing.
Any questions about Bat Cow?
Can Bat Cow please have its own HBO Max spinoff?
I would love if the Bat Cow had its own spinoff. But,
You would not either, you big fat liar.
yeah, that's Any other questions?
So
about
Bat Cow just has a barn, and in theory is always at weight.
Yeah, I guess Alfred's milking her every now and again.
Alfred, you.
Or Harold.
Yeah, Harold got kicked out.
He's actually doing pretty good.
Alfred's still dilly-dallying
Alfred,
with the
like,
local
like
ladies.
he got his own
and
place.
milking
He
cows.
lives on his own now.
Alfred does?
No, Harold.
Oh, good. Okay, well that's good.
All right. Any questions about Bat Cow?
So many, but I can't think of
Give me
them
one.
right now. What kind of cow?
I don't know cow species. That cow.
It looks kind of like a. It looks like whoever drew that cow didn't know how to draw cows. It's basically a human with a cow nose.
Yeah, a little bit.
I love it.
All right.
I love Bat Cow.
And that's the Bat family.
Yay!
Oh crap! I totally forgot to add something that I